You guys ready?
Yep. Me.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is Vedaste. I'm from this country here, Rwanda. Can anyone say it probably?
Rwanda.
Rwanda. Just like that. So Rwanda, it's a very tiny country in Africa, but very beautiful country. So right from here on the map of Africa, there it is. Oh, wow. It's learning fast.
Oh.
Okay.
Might have to take it off.
Oh, here it is.
Oh.
So this is Rwanda actually, in a very small spot here, by the Lake Victoria, which is in our neighbor country, Uganda, which is located in the north of the country. So Rwanda has like a very different surrounding neighbors, including Republic Democratic of Congo, which is in west part of the country, and Burundi in south, and here is Uganda in north, and yeah, and Tanzania in east. So looking at Rwanda itself, its map, Rwanda looks like this. So it has very different regions. It has east, north, and south, and west as well. So it's divided into different districts. So it's like here in US we have state governments, right? And we have federal governments, and we have different states as well, including Iowa as a state, right?
Yeah.
So we as a country, very small country, instead of having that big government, we have actually one single government, but has different small districts. So where I actually come from, I come from in this part of the country, which is in the north. So in this part of the country, we have very different mountains, including the Bilungas, which is volcanoes and mountains. I mean, I'm not sure, I've never seen a volcano in US, but I would be surprised if I see one, probably.
Where would he have to go to see a volcano?
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
I should probably plan on going to see that.
You should definitely plan to go to Hawaii.
Okay, here is different national parks. We have Akagera Park here in east, somewhere by Lake Ihema, and we have Lake Kivu, which is in between Rwanda and East Congo. So it's like a big lake between those two countries. So we often go catching fish there, fishing there, and we often go there for vacations. It has a very nice time for summer. So, and beside that, I would simply say that Rwanda is very small, as you can see from here. It's like 26,000, 338 square kilometers. It's like, I don't know if it's very small, like Waverly, but it's bigger than Waverly, probably. I would assume that.
Maybe
But
northeast Iowa.
yeah, yeah. But it's very highly populated country. So it has like 10 million people. Imagine that, very small country. So which is very interesting. And our capital city is Kigali. Kigali, I think you heard about that. It's one of the cleanest cities in the Great Lakes region. Great Lakes region, it's a region where there is, where I showed previously, in this area where there is Congo, Burundi here, and Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya. It's a Great Lakes region because of Lake Victoria. So due to Lake Victoria, the region becomes Great Lakes regions, including some very other small specific lakes, including Lake Kivu, like we say, between Rwanda and Congo. And here is Kigali, you know what I'm saying? It's located in the central part of the country. It's like where you can, if you come from north, you will reach Kigali at the same time as someone from Butale. So it's like mostly even. So I don't know why they decide to put a capital city there, but it's very interesting to see when I'm traveling from my homeland here in north to Kigali. We all start the same journey from, he started from Butale and I start from north. We will all reach Kigali at the same time. So it's very interesting there. And also Rwanda is known as a land of 1,000 hills. The reason is because Rwanda has a lot of mountains. I mean, I've never seen mountains here in Waverly since I came here, but there's very, very a lot of mountains there, including, of course, volcanoes, I said before, and very small villages all the way around. And it's always interesting to go hiking in those mountains because they are very, there's many, many bushes there to go and discover a lot of animals. So those are volcanoes. This is a very interesting volcanoes, but they're not active volcanoes. They are inactive. They can't erupt or cause troubles to environment. So we are safe. I'm sure we are. And Rwanda as well is a government, so it's not a kingdom like Swaziland. We previously heard from that. So this is our national flag. And Rwanda in general, people in Rwanda have different beliefs. We have a majority who are Christians and Catholics, Protestant, but between 70 and 60, the range between 65 are Catholics, like Christian, because of the former colony, which was Belgium. Belgium was one of the speaking French country, so we adopted the system of being taught in French and speaking French generally, so as our second language. And in Rwanda also we have cultural values, but what we strongly stress on is the role of individual in a society. So it's like the contribution of one person in society. If you are a good neighbor to your neighbor, I think you are a very good person in a society. So that's why we highly highlight values. It's like being honest, knowing that your neighbor is safe, mostly. And also as well, we have a very long history. And we also have art and tradition, as well as languages. So we speak Kinyarwanda as a Kinyarwanda as a native language for everybody. So Kinyarwanda sounds awkward, but it's what I speak when I'm home, because within my family, my mom and my sisters and my brother, they can speak French, but my grandmother and my grandfather, they can't speak French because they were never taught in French. So it's really interesting. If you don't know, I think Kinyarwanda, you won't be able to communicate with your grandparents. So I communicate with my grandparents with this language, Kinyarwanda, and my family often we do mix up. We are bilinguals. So and English, so it's very a recent language. So I'm sure English nowadays is being taught in every high schools, primary schools, but it's a way of I don't know, it's a beginning because myself, I was taught in my primary school in French, so I learned English when I was in high school, so it's really interesting too. Okay, moving to history of Rwanda. One of the remarkable part of history of Rwanda, there is Rwanda had genocide in 1994, which was basically a systematic discrimination against one group of people, the group of people who were Tutsi. So generally speaking, in my country we have 3 tribes. We have Twa, we have Tutsi, and Hutu. So Hutus in genocide were majority, and Tutsis were minority, and Twa were very, very small number of them because they consider them as indigenous people. So the conflict was due to very political interest. So I came to know as I grew up. So I've never really known the main reason of killing our neighbors. So it was very, very horrific event. And which actually led myself to think about why did our neighbor violate the values of Rwanda. So it was very, I don't know how to witness that, but it's very unrealistic. And this year in April, it will be 19th anniversary of memory of genocide. So it will be like after 19 years. So since genocide happened. So the event usually takes place in April 7 until April 14th. So to commemorate those individuals who basically were killed in genocide for no apparent reasons. And here is one of the stories about genocide. So Mrs. Immaculée, she was one of the victims of the genocide in Rwanda. So she actually witnessed everything what happened and how these cruel people killed her family. And after all, she was able to forgive those people who commit such atrocities against her, which is a very brave action. So, which is part of values. So I really like that because it's not really common ever since the history of Rwanda to ever forgive your neighbors who really committed such crimes against yourself. So it's very brave and very inspiring story. And also there is art in Rwanda, so which is important. So in art we have these tiny, they call them agaseke. I don't know if you know how to, I can write it on the board. It's called agaseke. This is in Kinyarwanda. I don't know how to translate that in English, but yeah, that's what I call it. And also beside that there is dance, which is traditional dance. Traditional dance, dancers themselves, we call them intole, as you could see from here. And what they use, they have a specific traditional clothing. And I didn't bring one for you, probably next time. But these people, when they're dancing, it's very wonderful to see them dancing because they have to practice how to choreography everything. So they have like a very specific choreography doing that. So I'll dance next time.